Okay, I'm gonna make this nice and quick. No intro, no nothing, no fancy background. I'm just gonna cut right into it, just the same as I used to before. I had the more premium version of StreamYard, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase on this. The thing is that let's talk about this Denver shooting a little bit more. Let's talk about it. So we have some more information. So we had the Magapeds out there, and we had some BLM folks, and we had 9 News, which apparently, I think if I'm correct here, I think 9 News Denver. Let me make sure. Yeah, 9 News Denver. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a look at this article right quick, and I'll just read some of this off to you. Okay. Shooting amid Denver protests leaves man dead. 9 News security guard detained as a suspect. Okay. You know what? I don't want this right now. God damn it. All right. You know what? Just let me continue with Google. God damn it. See, this is why it's so hard to get news. I mean, even Vosh says the same thing. Let's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and I'm gonna put my stank on this right quick. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this on YouTube separately, but oh, that's on Facebook. Never mind. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, a shooting Saturday afternoon in Denver amid chaotic political protests left a man dead, and police have taken a security guard working for a television station into custody as a suspect. Denver police said the shooting happened at about 3:30 p.m. near the intersection of West 114. Well, fake while. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Okay, the department said that the suspect has no connection to Antifa groups. Denver television station 9 News reported Saturday night that the guard is a Pinkerton contractor who had been hired to provide security for the station's reporters at protests. Private security guard who is hired by 9 News is a suspect detained by DPD. The station, also known by its call sign KUSA TV, said one of its producers also was taken into custody. Station manager Mark Cornetta said the producer has been released. Okay. Joe Montoya, Denver police say one man in custody after. Okay. So here's the deal from what I saw. I'm trying to be good faith here. I'm trying to be good faith because I've seen, I saw Memology, and I know Memology, you say what you will about them. Whatever. I still subscribe. I'm still subscribed to him. So what happened? Yeah, basically, okay. So there was a shooting in Denver. There's a Magapede who was shooting, who was spraying mace. He was spraying mace, and the security guard, who is allegedly part of the Pinkertons. I don't know how the fuck that works, but basically, he was shooting this mace, or he was spraying this mace. Excuse me, and this guy, I cannot think of his name now. I think it's Robert something. I'm gonna have to view the video again. Let me see if I can find it in my history right quick here, because I know I have it in there. Yeah, it's on. I'm gonna find it. It's gonna just take me a minute. Oh yeah, we totally didn't see this coming. Okay, I'll go ahead and. Oh, y'all ain't gonna hear it anyway, so it's okay. Okay. Was identified. Okay. Let me just make sure here. Matthew Doloff. That's his name. Okay. Yeah, let me make sure here. Yeah, Matthew Doloff. Matthew Doloff Pinkerton. There we go. Colorado Sun. So this is 9 hours ago. Okay, we're going to look at this next story then. Okay. Matthew Doloff, 30, is being held for investigation for first-degree murder. He was the one that shot this Magapede guy. I mean, shit, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. Shot him dead in the head. Shot him dead in the head, one shot, boom. Denverite. Let's see here. Are y'all going to make me? Okay, let's see here. As identified, Matthew Doloff, 30, is a man being held in investigation. Doloff, I think, is 2 L's. Doloff was working as a private security guard for 9 News or KUSA TV. Okay. I'll screw it. Let me go ahead and I'll show the screen. Let me show the screen right quick. That way y'all can see. I'll try to be good faith here. Okay. So Matthew Dolliff was the guy that was working for the Pinkertons. The shooting happened just after a Patriot muster rally dispersed right-wing demonstrators in military-style gear had assembled in Civic Center Park, facing off with counter-demonstrators in shouting matches throughout the afternoon. The investigation is ongoing, police said, and arrest documents remain sealed. The details of the shooting, include the name of the victim, remain unconfirmed. Dolliff appeared briefly at a virtual court hearing on Sunday morning, cupping his ear as he apparently struggled to hear the conversation of the magistrate and his public defender, Valerie Cole. The farm's now suspended website. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, Dolliff's prior court records show a handful of traffic and money-related cases. A Facebook account for someone sharing his full name and other biographical information was connected to a farm selling honey, puppies, and poultry in northeast Colorado. The farm's now suspended website showed Dolliff was to be married this year. A connected YouTube account showed farm footage and occasional political content, including footage of Occupy Wall Street. So Occupy Denver, basically, was where he was at. And a Bernie Sanders rally in 2016. Right-wing influencers seized on the social media postings, which are unconfirmed, to pin him as a leftist and claim the shooting was politically motivated. Meanwhile, some local politicians condemned the rush to blame. So now we get into this John Teagan guy who was the organizer of the right-wing Patriot muster. What type of gay shit y'all fools on? Okay. I'm deeply saddened to learn about the tragic death of a fellow American patriot after a rally in Denver on Saturday. I learned shortly after that a man was there showing support for America and its foundational principles had been killed. It's still unclear. Teagan went on to blame left-wing opponents for making targets. Left-wing organizers had held a Black Lives Matter anti-fascist soup drive Saturday, announced soon after Teagan's event. Their goal, organizers said, had been to outnumber and outshine these fascists anytime they showed their faces. So once again, another body. Yeah. It's sad how we're losing all respect for human life. Yeah. I really suppose, conservative media hasn't jumped all over this. Yeah, haven't seen any of the typical folks from the Blaze or Daily Wire covering it all. Yeah. The thing is, people have covered it, but it's just kind of been somewhat on the low. Like I say, it's another body. I hate to say it like that, but it's another body. And, this just further, Antifa soup, don't eat the cream. Like I say, man. The thing is, look, I'm you know what? I'm going to try to be good faith here and say it this way. I was trying to wait because I heard about this last night, but I wanted to wait. Turns out this guy, like I say, could be left wing. He could be this and that. But I mean, ultimately, look, the thing is, another person dead. Once again, nobody's cashed out yet. Now everybody's going to get in their big guns. Everyone's putting up their money for more chips. In this case, you can have whatever. Yeah. The bodies are piling up and the bodies can be resumed as chips, and everyone's just kind of looking, saying, are you in or are you out? And that's the way it's going right now. Like I say, this is kind of what I was talking about yesterday, is don't get too involved. I'm talking about in a United States context because this is what I see, but don't, the thing is that part of the reason this dude was busted is because he had a what tattoo was it? I'm trying to think of what tattoo it was. Hold on. Matthew Dolliff. Turns out he's a security guard who happens to be Antifa. Like I said, this is the memeology 101 video. Take it with a grain of salt. I know. I'm trying to be fair. He's on the Antifa side of the rally. We show him, they're burning flags, stuff like that, of course, and of course he's just watching. He didn't actually do anything, but yeah. pro Bernie, you know, everything else. I don't really care about that. You know, it's, yeah. Progressive news. So he was trying to start a podcast. It didn't really work out that well. Called Submission. Yeah. He was also subscribed to Cult of Dusty. So there you go. He was one of those type of dudes, man. Oh, boy, yeah. Yeah, Kyle Clark.
Percent a lie.
Turns out he wasn't working for Pinkerton. I mean, look, you can look at his LinkedIn all you want to. I don't put everything on LinkedIn either. Look, I'm trying to be fair here. The thing is that, look, it doesn't, you know, I'm going to say wrong. This, and that's the wrong 9 News. That's the Australian one. But you know what I would say? You know what I would say ultimately? Was he subscribed to Vosh? He could have been, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Space Invaders. That's it, yeah. You're right, Timogen. Yep, Space Invaders. Yeah, he had the Space Invaders tattoo on his wrist. But yeah, America has a choice. Do we be like Babylon and stay in rebellion against God, or do we go with the way of Assyria and repent? We're going down the road of Babylon, unfortunately. Like I say, there are a lot of people who think they know better. It's like if we had, you know, yeah. But it's a different it's a different 9 News. It's a KUSA-TV. So, like I say, I mean, you know, I'll let that go. But I'm just saying is that, you know, the thing is that this dude just started spraying it. Just looked like randomly. I mean, I can't really tell from the context. But it's like, online leads to cringe. Just look at BreadTube or the alt-right. Exactly. The thing is, man, I'm like, you know, we see that this dude, you know, the old guy that was, you know, the MAGA Pete who was spraying mace in the direction of that guy. And, you know, this guy, you know, Matt Dolev pulls out his pistol, shoots this guy dead in the head. Now, of course, there's some other footage I saw where he's just like, shoot me, nigga, shoot me. Once again, it's like, I mean, that's going to be the new call, isn't it? That's going to be the new call ever since the death of that Kenosha guy. Even though it turns out that guy from Kenosha, one of them, you know, the guy, especially the guy who said, shoot me, nigga, that guy was a pedophile, it turned out. Was in jail for it. And the other guy was accused of beating his wife. Now, of course, like I say, I know, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, humanity, this and that. But ultimately, look, the thing is that the facts don't matter. It's someone that's ostensibly on my side is dead. So now I'm concerned. That's all that matters. I'm just going to tell you that right now. America needs Troy Balsan. Yeah. Why was he spraying mace? I think, you know, one of the, some guys got a little bit too close, I think. Fuck if I know. I mean, the thing is, it's like, it seems like all these dudes carry mace. The guy with that, I keep on saying his name wrong, but I think is Aaron Danielson, the guy who was killed in Portland. He had mace and he had a gun on him and everything else, but he didn't use it. And then, of course, he gets killed by Michael Reinhold. And then Michael Reinhold gets killed. You know, but like I say, man, this is, once again, I'll wait for the book to come out about all the little details about researching these dudes. But it's like, you know, a lot of shit, you know, like I said. The facts don't, like I said, you know, facts don't care about your feelings, but it's like, in reality, the facts don't care. The facts don't matter necessarily. It's someone who is claimed to be right-wing because they support Donald Trump was killed. So it's either, yeah, we killed a fascist, or it's, oh, this motherfucker done killed somebody. That's all that matters. I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's all that matters in a lot of people's eyes. And screw it. You know what? It's going to take a while to get those enchiladas cooked. So I'll go ahead and play this video I was going to play. From good old E-American Johnson. E-American Johnson. Take it with a grain of salt, right, folks? Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute here. And click on that right there. Whoops. And Click off that right there. Put that there. Here we go. Let me see here. Playlist. Here we go. Click off that. Okay, here we go. The stream videos here. Okay. There's a lot of shit we're not going to play. Let me see here. I'm going to have to update this list here. We're not going to play that. We're not getting involved with that. We already watched that. Okay. This is the video I saw earlier. American Johnson.
Hello.
It's been a while since we talked about him. I don't really talk about this dude as much. But let's go ahead and get into it. Why not?
American Johnson here, walking around Westlake in beautiful Hanoi, Vietnam. And I'm here today to talk briefly about the subject of optics. I talked about optics a little bit in my last video on Donald Trump being...
I'm sorry.
See, a lot of leftists seem to think that our struggle must...
Here we go, yeah. I just made enchiladas yesterday. Oh, really? They're from Stouffer's. I'll be honest with you. We're white trash is gonna be, yeah. So Stouffer's in there. So yeah, Vietnam, exactly. American Johnson, for those that don't know, let me give the background of this dude. He was a marketer from South Carolina originally, from South Kakalaki, as we may say here in the United States. Sometimes we say South Kakalaki, South Carolina. He became a marketer. And according to him, he ended up working in Hollywood for a little bit. Now, this is, as far as I've heard, his little biography. And he ended up going to South Korea. And then somehow he ended up going to Vietnam. I'm not sure how he ended up getting into Vietnam. But now he hooked up with this, he ended up getting with this, this chick named Luna Oi. He somehow meets with this Luna Oi chick. And now, of course, he calls her comrade, quote unquote. The thing is, like, come on. Y'all know they hitting the sheets. Y'all know that they live together and everything else. Like, come on, man. Why are you going to call your girl your comrade? To me, it's like, I don't care how lefty you are. You don't call your girl your comrade. At least, call your girl, but of course, and he's, of course, talked about, questioning his gender and all that type of thing, but it's like, come on, man. So let's get into this right quick here with this video.
Revolve around a constant battle against fascists to win over the hearts of neoliberal centrists. It seems like a lot of folks on the left think our main priority needs to be trying to prove that we're more virtuous than Nazis to a bunch of privileged upper middle class white people.
And I got a lot of pushback on that in the comments, people saying that optics are important and we need to win over the working class, which I agree with,
The thing is that the thing is we had the opted, the thing is the alt-right, if y'all remember, they had the optics argument too back in, what was it, 2016, 2017, 2018. We had that optics argument. And the thing is that ultimately that argument was answered pretty much by the fact that it doesn't really fucking matter, because ultimately you have the whole America First, Nick Fuentes type of dudes and the Baked Alaskas who kind of say some mildly wignat stuff, but ultimately it's like, we're going to be more quiet about it. And then you have the TRS boys and all that type of shit. And there are other splits too, but in general, those are the big splits. And it's like, now, of course, they bring in people like Milo Yiannopoulos. They keep bringing this nigga back, don't they? They keep bringing that nigga back. They keep on bringing Milo Yiannopoulos back. They bring back, Baked Alaska. These folks who really should have no business coming back, who continue to make fools of themselves. And y'all, it's like, if y'all have been online, y'all have seen that Baked Alaska has come back to YouTube and, found himself that girl, Sammy, sounds like, she been tossed around more than a baseball. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But that's a whole other story. I'm just saying is that the optics battle, it's like the left is where the right was at, or at least alt-right were at, like maybe 2017. So it's like, come on, man. We've had these battles. But yeah. Can't stay for long. Just wanted to stop by. Okay, that's cool. Speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse, heard he did creepy things to his sister. Is it true? I don't know about that. I heard that he defended his sister one time when, that they were out and about. I think one day, just like an outdoor party, and they ended up fighting. But I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, could be. But anyway, I will let you go ahead and continue on there. Sorry about that. I'll let y'all just conversate in your own. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with this Feihua.
So I wanted to elaborate on that and make my position a little bit more clear here, as I enjoyed a stroll around this very beautiful part of Vietnam. So for our purposes, let's define optics as, political strategy that pertains to the way people perceive our movement or our political project. And obviously it is important that the working class positively perceives us as we strive to convince them to dismantle capitalism. I do think that we need to obviously not let fascists control the narrative, right?
You know why this is ridiculous? He lives in Vietnam, which, as far as I know, has, had their reforms and everything else. Maybe Uncle Ho can edify us a little bit here and give us some more information. But as far as I know, Vietnam has had to play the game just like every other country does. So it's like, maybe if you're talking about, the DPRK or something like that, okay. But I don't know, man. Like I say, you got to be careful with what you're saying, cousin. And the thing is, he's lived in Vietnam for a couple of years, and he still can barely speak Vietnamese. So it's like, come on, man. You got to at least make the effort. But, it's like if I went to China, it's like I can BS my way through and at least learn some Mandarin. But it's like, come on, man. Go ahead.
But also,
mixed race couples cringe.
An overemphasis on it, for one thing. And I think that a lot of leftists seem to think that the ultimate goal of the left as a project is just to make fascists and the right and liberals look bad and make ourselves look good.
Yeah.
And that if we can just convince people that we are super nice and cool, then people will join our cause, and that's how we will win. And that's just...
He's got a point. You know what? I will give him this. I mean, he's cringe for various reasons because, he's an expat white dude living in Vietnam who, is in a relationship with a Vietnamese woman. It's like, look, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying is that, come on, man, that's kind of like some grandparent cry type stuff. Why couldn't you stay in South Carolina, man? Why ain't you back in South Carolina trying to do something for your people there? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? That makes me question things. It's like there's this whole group of white folks and some of these other, these these lefties are be like, oh, China's based. I live in Suzhou or something like that. Oh, yeah. And it's like, come on, man. You're never going to be Chinese. My man right here is never going to be Vietnamese. It's just like, come on, man. It's a different thing. There are plenty of folks that live in China illegally, but they're never going to be Chinese citizens. There are plenty of folks that live in Japan illegally that are gaijin. They're never going to be seen as Japanese. Because, to a point, Asia is much more woke on that. They can tell the difference, be like, oh, that motherfucker's Korean. That one's Chinese. This one's, Vietnamese. Whatever. They can tell the difference between each other. Whereas white folks, we can't even tell the difference between us. Be like, oh, yeah, that guy's from Ireland or this and that. It's like, no, we're all just kind of mixed up. Now, like I say, I hate to be racial like that. I'm just saying, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Nick Fuentes talks about playing MAGA anthem. Strongly supported BLM like he was super cool. Yeah. Like I say, it's just super cringe. Yeah. I wish I was Southern sometimes. Yeah. Sticking the feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken. Yep. Exactly. That's true. That's true.
It's not how revolution has ever played out in history. I don't think that that's a realistic understanding of how politics and power dynamics work.
Once again, he's got a point talking about power dynamics. And yeah, you can't just be everyone's friend and, dab on conservatives and dab on right-wing folks, which is a lot of what the left in general does, at least online, is, and that reflects in the real world too, is that, they think that just by killing right-wingers or by, dabbing on them or making fun of them, that's how you win. Not necessarily. The thing is, you guys are still cringe. The lefties are still cringe in general. I'm speaking of the United States, once again. So he has a point, but, go ahead.
I also have a problem with the skittishness a lot of leftists have when it comes to revealing the true nature of our political positions. You know, a lot of leftists have adopted this right-wing rhetoric that we should hide our power level and just basically try to make it appear like we're not communists, we're not anarchists. Hello, how are you? So yeah, I think that this right-wing understanding of power levels is harmful to our cause. I don't think we should be hiding our position or our understanding of capitalism. I think we need to be as outspoken as we can be about our politics and own up to the fact that we are communists, we are anarchists, we are radical leftists. I think, you know.
But then the inevitable questions will come in, won't they? Well, what do you think about religion? Well, what do you think about, you know, so-and-so? What do you think about this and that? You know, and you can't just, once again, you can't just do like, you know, you can't have this like it's a, like you're debating somebody or, you know, like you do Vosh type of thing. Is, oh, well, that's anecdotal and you're, oh, that's whataboutism. You can't just try to own somebody online. When some boomer tries to come up to you and starts to ask you genuine questions, you can't, you know, have that same mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been online long enough. It's like when you talk with someone that's vaguely left wing and they're just like, oh, what do you think about this? Well, that's whataboutism. You know, get out of here, fascist. You know, and it's like, you can't treat people like that. So, yes. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, apparently a revelation came up, so I gotta leave here pretty soon. Sorry about that. That happens. So basically, what this guy, you know what? I'm gonna cut to the good stuff of what he says here, right quick, and then we'll go ahead. Because basically, he talks about the Denver shooter as well and trying to basically control the message and everything. Let's see here if I can get to it, because he does talk about it in editing, which I think is hilarious. Okay, here we go. Okay, so he talks about the shooting here a little bit.
Basically have these rent-a-cops, like the one that was hired by this news agency. There's no connection between.
Okay, so he's talking about that 9 News, like we talked about earlier, the 9 News, KUSA TV in Denver. And he's saying, well, the rent-a-cops, you know, the Pinkertons are historically the enemies of the left, this and that. Here's the edit, though.
The Pinkertons and the radical left. I mean, we're ancient enemies. And yet, this narrative is persisting and pervading. We have Keemstar sharing this theory. I think it's much more likely that the person with the Space Invader tattoo liked the video game Space Invaders, which millions and millions and millions of people have played.
Hold on.
Going back to the 70s or 80s or whatever.
Hey, this is EJ here. Back in my hotel room, I was editing and realized I need to mention something. There is a chance that there is a far left anti-fascist activist who is enamored with an obscure Austrian street artist who is also a Pinkerton agent. I very much doubt this is the case, but this video is going to be up for, you know, years to come, and maybe I'm wrong. Now, the thing is, I feel kind of gaslit right now just having to say this, because this is what fascists do. They jump in at the very beginning and they build a narrative right away, and they don't care about the truth. They just want to build their narrative. And 99.
Now, there's a truth to that. You know, he is true on that point. What I will say, though, is the thing is that you guys say these things. You say, oh, no, that never happened, this and that. And then it turns out that it did happen. And then you're just like, well, you know, if you owed up to it, much as, you know, E. American Johnson himself said, oh, yeah, well, Chaz, you know, we killed a fascist that was driving a car. Turns out it was a 14-year-old person of color that was driving that car, you know, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they shot him. The security forces did. He said he barely mentioned it. That's one of the biggest problems with the left. They do not owe up to mistakes that happen within their various, by various people that call themselves leftists, that do some dumb shit, and you don't owe up to it and say, yeah, I made a mistake. I took the L. They can't take the L. But yeah, let's go ahead and I'm trying to hurry up and finish this. So
9% of the time, it's complete fabricated bullshit and gets proven such quickly, but the narrative sticks, and they just keep hammering away with that forever. It's like Hitler said a long, long time ago, make the lie big, repeat it again and again and again.
Goebbels said that, not Hitler. Once again, oh, you're giving Hitler too much credit.
That's what they do. Now, here I am sitting here having to disclaimer, because I'm actually concerned with the truth, that maybe this Pinkerton agent is a leftist. I feel ridiculous even saying that that's a possibility, but I don't want to, say that I know for certain that this person.
Well, here's the problem, though, is that people just take in, once again, you have your own built-in bias where you say, once again, it doesn't matter unless it's someone on my side. Let's be honest about that. Let's be honest. Yeah. Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Autarkic People's Republic? Sorry, yeah. I keep getting Walmart ads after that one stream he did. Oh, shit. Context doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, yeah. Socialists like him want to have their cake and eat it too. He says all this here, but still enjoys the comfort of liberalism and sitting in his topic. Yeah. At the topic of capitalist pyramid. Yep, that's true.
Was not affiliated with anti-fascism. But see, this is the thing. We are always going to be playing defense when we're going toe-to-toe with the fascists like this, because they're just going to lie. And if it turns out the person's not anti-fascist because of their Space Invaders tattoo, they're going to come up with some other cockamamie linkage to try to make it look as good as possible for the far right and as bad as possible for the far left.
See, the problem is, though, is that what you're not talking about is, was it justified? And to me, I didn't really say, I haven't said that yet. But I will say in general, I think somewhat that shooting could be considered justified. I'll say it, but I could be wrong. Regardless of politics, I think in general, could the guy have taken done a center mass shot instead of just shooting him in the head? I don't know. I'm just saying is that in general, what I'm looking at is, regardless of politics, I think that he was justified. But of course, like I say, I know that it's tricky, but you know what? You have my personal take, and you can feel like, bro, that's cringe. Why would you support? Go ahead, though.
That's what they do. They engineer the stories. They engineer the narrative. Now, we could spin our wheels continuously trying to push back against these mountains and mountains of bullshit that they sputter out, pulling out facts and figures and charts and data about the fact that the Space Invaders tattoo isn't actually an anti-fascist symbol and blah, 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 blah. But it's not going to stop. They're going to keep producing these mountains of bullshit. If you've been involved with the left at all, you know that we have to be experts on capitalism. We have to know all about how capitalism works. The fascists can spin out a lie in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you don't know what capitalism is. Even you as a marketer it's like if I asked you a point blank question like this, well, what do you think of the generally accepted accounting principles that the United States goes by in terms of tax law? What do you think about taxes? What do you think about tax law and, the percentages that people pay? What do you think about that? In Colorado or something like that. I'm just pulling that out because of Denver. And of course, he probably could not explain that. So to say that you are an expert is fei hua. Yeah, you know about history, which, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and talk about history. But to say that you're an expert in capitalism, no, you have not. Once again, guys like you don't know about that. So don't give me that. I don't even claim to know about generally accepted accounting principles. I'm just saying is that I'm getting my degree in marketing and had to take some accounting classes. So at least I understood what that is. And then, of course, you have IFRS as well. But anyway, go ahead.
And then it can take us as leftist activists hours to piece together a evidence-cited refutal of the lie, and then they'll just throw out another lie. So this is not an efficient way of engaging with them long-term. It's not a path forward to victory, because again, they'll just keep lying, and it doesn't take them a lot of effort to do so. For every well-researched, documented video essay that we painstakingly piece together, they can just throw out shovelfuls and shovelfuls of.
So you've undermined all your work, basically. So all the videos that you made were fei hua, basically. Is that what you're saying? I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing, but go ahead.
Lies, and they're unabashed in doing so. So we are always going to be in the defensive position when it comes to pushing back against these kinds of narratives.
All right.
And
Okay. All right. I do have things to do, but yeah, people only read headlines. Yep, exactly. And that's something that when I was reading Edward Bernays' book Propaganda, is that people only read the headlines. And he said, pick out these 4 headlines, and this story is actually about this. This story is actually about that. But basically, I'll cut to the chase. TLDR of the video. TLDR is basically, well, we can, is it if we actually market to the actual working class folks and not just white folks, but talking about POC and Hispanics and everything else, then that's how we're going to win, is by talking to ordinary people. And the people that I talk to on the streams are going to be the ones that actually do it, not me. And of course, the thing is like, yeah, that's nice sentiment, but ultimately we know that that's not necessarily true. So, take it for what it is. I got somewhere to go. Actually, I got to get dressed and take my mom up so we can get some dinner. So I will keep it at that. I hope y'all enjoyed that stream, and y'all have a good day. All right, goodbye.